Enter John Kordic, a big defenseman who racked up more than 300 penalty minutes in the minors. The Canadiens' coaching staff brought him up for one reason.
They called me up to play tough, and I don't want to let them down by maybe getting knocked out or losing a fight or something, and get the team down and stuff. The team thinks I'm supposed to be tough, and if I get in a fight, I want to make sure I get the better half of the fight. So, because the players are looking at when I go on the ice that if I get in a fight or something, that I do well.
Kordic hasn't let his teammates down. In the first round against the Bruins, Nyland's bodyguard pounded Boston's resident goon, Jay Miller. In the Adams Division final against Hartford, Kordic has taken on Torrey Robertson twice. Each time, the NHL's most penalized player was roughed up by the new kid in town.
John Kordic, the kid from Edmonton, handles himself pretty well in what for him is a normal situation.
I haven't covered too many goons on this channel, so I'm going to start off with one of my favorites from the 80s and early 90s. This is the sad story of John Kordic. John Kordic was born in Edmonton, Alberta, and dreamed of playing defense in the NHL, just like one of his hockey heroes, Bobby Orr. Kordic started his junior career in the Portland Winterhawks of the Western Hockey League in the 1982-83 season. He would play 72 games, scoring 3 goals and getting 22 assists for 25 points and racking up 235 penalty minutes, thus beginning his role as an enforcer. He would catch the attention of NHL scouts early, as he was drafted in the 4th round, the 78th overall pick of the 1983 NHL entry draft by the Montreal Canadiens. He would spend his next year still with the Portland Winterhawks, where he would play in 67 games, scoring 9 times and getting 50 assists for 59 points, all while racking up 232 penalty minutes, showing that he was a goon who could help make plays. During the 84-85 season, Kordic would split time between 2 teams in the Western Hockey League, playing in a total of 71 games, where he would score 23 goals and rack up 58 assists for a total of 81 points, all while spending 227 minutes in the box. Montreal definitely had a goon who could contribute to their high-scoring team. He would also get a taste of the pro leagues, playing 4 games for the AHL Sherbrooke Canadiens. The following year saw Kordic spend 68 games playing for the Sherbrooke Canadiens, scoring 3 times, getting 14 assists, and 238 minutes in penalties. He would also get his first taste of the NHL, playing in 5 regular season games for the Montreal Canadiens, getting 1 assist and 12 penalty minutes. He would also spend 18 games in the playoffs for the Montreal Canadiens, not registering a point, but spending 53 minutes in the box, helping the Canadiens win their Stanley Cup in '86. He knew why he was on the team. He was there to be an enforcer and fight when the team needed him to fight. Although Kordic never really wanted to step into the role as the fighter, he would remain the team's enforcer because it allowed him to play in the NHL. He would spend the next 2 seasons with the Canadiens, and at the beginning of the 88-89 season, he would be traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Throughout his time in Montreal and in Toronto, the injuries were stacking up from a career of fighting, and behind the scenes, things were not going so well for Kordic. It was in the fall of 1988 that Ivan Kordic, John's father, died of liver cancer. After that, John was never the same. Back in 1986, after the Stanley Cup championship win, Kordic reported to training camp in the fall, looking like the Incredible Hulk. He had put on 15 pounds of pure muscle, so there was no doubt in the team's mind that he was using anabolic steroids, which back in the day, the NHL would just look the other way. As Kordic was smashing his way through opponent after opponent, becoming the NHL's toughest fighter, he was miserable behind the scenes, and often told reporters that he would drown in a sea of vodka because of his parents' disappointment. They did not approve of him fighting in hockey to make a living, as he proved in the juniors that he could play, and play well. Kordic had also developed a huge drug problem while playing with Montreal, and would often use cocaine with other players in the locker room. This all continued through his time in Toronto, where he would only play half seasons. In 89-90, he would only play in 46 games and rack up 185 penalty minutes, The following year, he would play 55 games and spend 252 minutes in the box. 1990-91 season was Kordic's lowest point in his career, only playing in 10 regular season NHL games, 3 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he didn't register a single point and spent 9 minutes in the box, and spending 7 games with the Washington Capitals, still not registering a single point, but spending an astonishing 101 minutes in the box in just 7 games. In his final year in the league, Kordic would split time between the Quebec Nordiques, playing 18 games and getting 115 penalty minutes, and with the Cape Breton Oilers of the AHL, playing in 12 games and spending 141 minutes in the box. After playing the last of his career with the Cape Breton Oilers, Kordic had moved back to Quebec and was hoping to turn his life around, thinking that if he could catch on with the Oilers and play in his hometown, he could rekindle his love for the game. On the 8th of August, 1992, police were called to a small motel outside a small suburb of Quebec City. Kordic had been high on cocaine and was struggling with police and EMS workers. Kordic was handcuffed and put in the back of an ambulance and taken to the hospital. He died along the way of lung failure and a heart malfunction due to an overdose of cocaine. He was only 27. His death would send shockwaves through the NHL and sports in general, causing a massive discussion about steroids and their abuse in professional sports. But it was definitely a sad end to a player who showed promise early in his career, stuck in a role of being an enforcer.
It's getting me a start, you know. I got drafted because I could fight well, and I got called up a couple times because I could fight and play tough. And, Chris started that way, and now he gets to play, so I have to start that way. And if that's what they want me to do it for the first year or so, that's what I'll do to keep me up here.
So Chris Nyland's new bodyguard is on duty for as long as the Canadians need him.
It's all